Namaste and welcome, beloved community of holistic health and healing, to another episode of Vibrations of Vitality. I am Dr. Deb, a data scientist turned full-time Vedic healer, holistic health coach, and your companion on this sacred path of realigning to your Ikigai. This podcast is not just a conversation. It's not just education either. It is a vibration, a field of resonance designed to help you return to yourself. Each episode is a space for stillness, for reflection, and for the ancient rhythms of the Vedic tradition to meet the heartbeat of your modern life. In our last gathering, we opened the doorway to Ikigai, the intersection of purpose, passion, and sacred responsibility. Today, we enter a quieter room in the temple of the self, one lined not with noise, but with silence, not with seeking, but with sensing. Because in this moment, perhaps even right now as you listen, your energy may be stretched across multiple tabs in your browser, multiple concerns in your heart, multiple to-do lists in your mind. This is not your fault. It is the world we live in, a world that pulls at your senses from the moment you rise to the moment you fall asleep. Notifications, expectations, stimulation, saturation. But what if I told you there is an ancient Vedic practice, gentle, profound, and incredibly needed today, that allows you to reclaim that energy, to close the open loops, and to gather yourself back into yourself? Yes, my friends, that practice is called Pratyahara. Pratyahara is the fifth limb of Ashtanga Yoga, the yogic path outlined by the great sage Patanjali. It means withdrawal of the senses, but not as suppression, not as numbing. Rather, it is an empowered, conscious choice to bring your awareness inward. Imagine this. You are the ocean and your senses are waves moving outward towards sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. Pratyahara is the moment you invite those waves to settle and return home to still water. In today's episode, we will explore the deeper meaning of Pratyahara, where it comes from, why it's so necessary for our overstimulated nervous systems, and how to practice it in everyday life. Even if you are in a busy home, a demanding job, or a digitally saturated world. We will close with a short guided practice, a sensory withdrawal that you can return to again and again whenever you feel scattered, overwhelmed, or drained. So I invite you now to breathe, to pause, to listen not only with your ears, but with your inner being. Because this episode isn't just about understanding something new. It's about remembering something ancient. And in that remembrance, you reclaim your peace. You reclaim your presence. You reclaim your vitality. Let's begin. First, what is Pratyahara? Let us begin with the roots. Pratyahara, pronounced Pratyahara. is one of the 8 limbs of yoga outlined by Maharshi, the great sage Patanjali, in the Yoga Sutras. You may have heard of the physical postures of yoga, the asanas, or the breath work known as pranayama. These are valuable, yes, but Maharshi Patanjali described a much more complete path, one that leads a seeker from external discipline to internal liberation. Pratyahara is the 5th step, and it is the bridge between your outer and inner worlds. It comes just before dharana, concentration, dhyana, meditation, and samadhi, the superconscious state, complete oneness. That means it is a gateway practice. Without Pratyahara, the inner path remains noisy, distracted, unclear. Let's talk about the meaning of the word. In Sanskrit, the word breaks into 2 parts. Prati means away or against. Ahara means intake or nourishment. So, Pratyahara literally means to draw away from what feeds the senses, but not through force, not through rejection, rather through an elegant act of redirection, returning your awareness homeward. The turtle metaphor. Yogic masters use a beautiful metaphor, a turtle withdrawing its limbs back into its shell. The turtle doesn't reject the world, it simply returns inward when needed, resting in its center. Likewise, we are constantly extending our senses, looking outward, listening outward, reacting outward. Pratyahara teaches us to gently withdraw those limbs of attention and return to our inner sanctuary. Not to disconnect from the world permanently, but remember that we are not defined by it. Why it's often overlooked? Pratyahara is subtle. Unlike asana or pranayama, it doesn't look like much from the outside. There is no posture, no movement, no performance either. But that's where its magic lies. It's the pause between breath and stillness. It's the moment you turn off the noise and hear your intuition whisper again. Pratyahara is a skill and a sacred one. It doesn't require a retreat or a long sabbatical. It requires one thing only: a willingness to be with yourself. What it offers? In practicing Pratyahara, you start to see your thoughts not as absolute truths, but as clouds passing through the sky of awareness. You no longer let every sound, image, or opinion shape your inner reality. You begin to feel your own frequency again. You become sovereign, whole, steady. And in that steady space, something awakens. Clarity, presence, and the vitality that returns when your energy stops leaking outward. Let's move on to why this wisdom matters today. Now that we understand what Pratyahara is, the elegant withdrawal of the senses, the inward turning of our awareness, let's explore why it is more relevant today than ever before. We live in what many call the attention economy. Your attention, your sacred, precious attention, is the most valuable currency of our time. Companies spend billions of dollars designing ways to hook your focus, to keep you scrolling, tapping, reacting. You are not just being informed, you are being harvested. And with every ping, every notification, every piece of breaking news, your energy is slowly scattered. You wake up and check your phone before you check in with your soul. You rush through emails before drinking water. You consume content before you have even felt the ground beneath your feet. This isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Our modern nervous systems are in a chronic state of low-grade emergency. Even without dramatic trauma, we are bombarded with micro-stressors all day long. We carry decision fatigue, emotional inflammation, and spiritual amnesia, forgetting who we are because we are too distracted to remember. And then, in quiet moments, we wonder, why do I feel disconnected from my purpose? Why am I so tired even when I rest? Why can't I hear my intuition anymore? The answer isn't that we are broken. The answer is that we are overstimulated. This is where the ancient wisdom of Pratyahara becomes a revolutionary act of self-love. When you practice Pratyahara, even for just a few minutes a day, you are reclaiming your energy. You are telling the world, gently but firmly, I choose to pause. I choose to protect my inner space. You create an energetic boundary that says, I do not need to be available to everyone and everything all the time. In the Vedic understanding, the senses are not just physical tools. They are gateways, open channels through which energy flows in and out. If those gates are left wide open all the time, your life force seeps away drop by drop. That's why Pratyahara is not optional in this age. It is essential. Not just for spiritual seekers, but for parents, for professionals, for creatives, for leaders, for healers, for anyone who wants to live with clarity, integrity, and embodied peace. And here is the beauty. You don't need to shut the world out. You simply need to turn the volume down long enough to hear yourself again. That is the gift of Pratyahara. It is the art of choosing your center over chaos. It is the act of coming home without ever leaving your life. Next, let's talk about how to practice Pratyahara in modern life. Now that we understand what Pratyahara is and why it's more vital than ever in this distracted world, the question arises, and in fact, it's a million-dollar question. How do we bring it into our modern lives? Not just as philosophy, but as a felt experience, a real one. Because let's be honest, most of us aren't waking up to birdsong and incense. We are waking up to smartphones, traffic, tight schedules, and mental to-do lists buzzing louder than our breath. So how can you make space for Pratyahara? Not in spite of your life, but within it. Here are 4 gentle, soul-nourishing ways to practice Pratyahara in the real world. Each one is simple, potent, and sacred, designed to help you call your awareness inward, even for a few precious moments a day. Number 1. Digital fasting. Begin with 10 minutes a day. Pick a window in your day, early morning, midday break, or evening wind down, and turn off all digital devices. Yes, you heard it right. I meant off. No screens, no scrolling, no stimulation. Then simply sit. Let the outer world fall away. Feel the rhythm of your breath. Notice the silence beneath the noise. In this pause, something beautiful happens. The senses soften, the soul returns, and you remember that you are not your notifications. This is not disconnection from the world. It's reconnection with yourself, a conscious choice. Number 2, Trataka or candle gazing meditation. This ancient yogic technique invites the mind to quiet through steady, single-pointed focus. Here is how. At dusk, light a candle and place it at your eye level, an arm's length away. Sit comfortably, spine tall, and gaze gently at the flame. Keep your eyes open and soft. No blinking, no straining, just presence. After a minute or two, close your eyes and observe the image of the flame dancing at your third eye center, between the eyebrows. Rest here, let stillness rise. Over time, this practice strengthens concentration, quiets mental chatter, and refines inner awareness. But please practice with care. Trataka is not suitable for everyone. Avoid candle gazing if you have serious eye conditions like glaucoma or recent eye surgery, experience epilepsy or photosensitivity, as flickering light can trigger symptoms, struggle with dry eyes or skin-related eye fatigue, which can be worsened by sustained gazing, have uncorrected retinal or macular issues unless cleared by an eye care provider, are experiencing acute anxiety or nervous system sensitivity where focusing the gaze can initially feel overwhelming. Begin with sound or breath-based practices instead. Remember, this is not a performance. It's a return, a sacred pause. Let your body's intelligence lead. Your healing should always feel aligned, empowering, and gentle. Number 3, sonic anchoring. Use sacred sound to recenter. Sound is one of the most direct ways to draw the senses inward. You can ring a single bell, chant a simple mantra like Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, or hum softly, letting your own voice become the tuning fork of stillness. Let the vibration gather your attention like scattered leaves returning to a branch. Sound gives your awareness something steady to rest upon. And from that stillness, clarity arises. Number 4, evening sense withdrawal ritual. As the sun descends, let your senses descend too. Dim the lights, power down devices. Gently massage warm, cold-pressed sesame or coconut oil in the summer times onto your temples and the soles of your feet. Sip a warm herbal infusion. Play soft music or sit in silence. Let nightfall be your reminder to return. This practice tells your nervous system it is safe to come home. It is safe to rest. These aren't grand gestures. They are sacred micro-movements, quiet rebellions against the noise. They teach your senses not to fear the world, but to stop being ruled by it. Pratyahara is not a rejection of life, it's a refinement. You choose what comes in, you choose when to return inward. And from that centered space, your soul can speak again. Finally, a guided sensory return. Let us now move into an experience, a gentle sacred practice to help you embody the essence of Pratyahara. If it's safe and comfortable for you, I invite you to pause, to sit or lie down. And if you are listening while walking or driving, just let the words wash over you like a stream. You can return to this practice later when you can fully immerse. Close your eyes softly. Let the eyelids drop like curtains at sunset. Gentle, effortless. Take a slow, conscious breath in through your nose and exhale through the mouth with a sigh, like the wind leaving the trees. Again, inhale and release. Now, bring your awareness to the ears. Notice the sounds around you, the near and the far. You are not judging or identifying, just receiving. Like the sky receives birds in flight. And now, gently pull your attention away from the sounds. Turn the dial down. Let the world fade into a soft background. Allow your listening to settle inside. Now, bring your awareness to your skin. Feel the temperature of the air on your face. Notice the texture of your clothing on your arms. The way the body touches the ground beneath you. You are not clinging. You are witnessing. And now, soften that awareness too, like petals closing at nightfall. Let the tactile sensations dissolve into stillness. Bring your attention now to your eyes, even though they are closed. Behind the lids, what do you see? Light, shadow, color? Let it all blur, like mist over a lake. Withdraw your inner gaze and allow your mind's eye to turn inward. Now imagine all of your senses, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, gathering gently like streams flowing back into a single river. See them returning home to the center of your chest, your heart space, that sacred temple where your soul resides. Let your awareness rest here, still, whole, present. And now, silently or softly, repeat after me. I call my energy back to me. I reclaim my attention. I remember my center. I am home. Stay here for a few more breaths. Let each inhale deepen your peace. Let each exhale dissolve the noise. You are not the stimulus. You are not the screen. You are not the sound. You are the awareness that watches, the one who remembers. Breathe into that knowing. And when you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room, to the present, carrying this quiet power with you. Let's reflect and integrate. As we begin to close this sacred circle of today's episode, I invite you to linger in this energy, this quiet, grounded state you have just touched. You see, Pratyahara isn't about removing yourself from life. It's about returning to it with clarity, with your attention intact, with your energy whole, with your soul leading. In a world that constantly says, do more, Pratyahara whispers, be here. Feel deeply. Choose consciously. And this is the true integration. Not in big, dramatic gestures, but in the gentle, powerful act of choosing yourself in micro moments. So here is your invitation for this week. A practice of integration that brings the ancient Vedic wisdom into this era of AI. Choose one of the following as your sacred pause. Morning silence ritual, which is before touching your phone, spend just 3 minutes with your breath. Let your first input be your own presence, not the outside world. Number 2, evening light fast. Replace screen time with candlelight after sunset, even if just for 15-20 minutes. Let your senses soften with the rhythm of nature. Number 3, midday sensory reset. Set a timer for 5 minutes midday. Close your eyes, withdraw your awareness. Say inwardly, I reclaim my attention. Breathe, return. Just one of these practices, repeated consistently, can begin to rewire your relationship with your senses. You don't need to meditate in caves. You need pauses of presence in your real, beautiful life. Pratyahara is not about becoming less sensitive. It's about becoming sacredly selective, so that your sensitivity becomes a gift, not a burden. Finally, thank you for walking this path with me today. If this episode touched something in you, if you felt your energy returning home, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this sacred wisdom with someone who may need it. In our next episode, we will explore the 3 gunas, the qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas, and how understanding these energetic forces can help you reshape your mood, habits, and inner landscape. Until then, I leave you with these 4 sacred sentences. Heal naturally, live harmoniously, lead consciously, reconnect confidently. Namaste, beloved people, dear souls. Your energy is sacred. Protect it, cultivate it, and most vital of all, come home to it.